Hi y'all, welcome back. In this short tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create your own travel flyer design. So without much ado, let's get started. If you go to new, I'm using a 7x10 custom. You can drop in the picture that you want to use for your background. I'm going to move this and I'm going to go ahead and scale it, set it in the middle. Go ahead and pick up your shape tool. We're going to pick the rectangle. You can also pick the rounded rectangle. So I'm going to click on the regular because some might not have the newer version and might not know what to do. So with the newer version of Photoshop, you can basically hold these points and basically round your rectangle. But if you don't have that, go under properties. If you have an older version, now this are the four corners that you can basically change to round it. All you have to do is change this number. If I change this to 45 or 34, you see what happens. Now, if I change it back to 300, I get something like this. Now, you have to be aware that if it's not linked, then you can do it. So make sure that this is a dark gray. So whatever change you make will affect all four corners. So with that said, we want to go ahead and fill in our shape. So go to your appearance, pick up any color that you want. Now we are going to go ahead and use our move tool. We want to rotate. Now if your transform is not activated, just click on Command T or Control T if you are on the Windows. So we're going to go ahead and just rotate like this. And I'm going to set it somewhere here. We're basically eyeballing this. Now I'm going to go ahead and double click to accept. We want to go ahead and make another shape instead of using this one. Go back to your shape. Now pick up your rectangle again. We're going to make this thinner and I'm going to hold the ends and just make it smaller. Now pick up your move tool. We're going to do the same thing. Rotate on an angle and I'm going to stretch it a little bit more like that. So with this set, we're going to make a duplicate. So click on your shape and then hold down Command J to make a copy or Control J if you are on the Windows. With all our shapes set, you want to make sure that this shape is on the very bottom. So, and then you have these two which are on top. Now we want to go ahead and make another copy of all of these three shapes. So click on the top one and we are going to make a copy. Command J, make a copy. Now we are going to click on our fill and we are just going to choose any color. We're going to go ahead with a yellow, or you can even choose a honey mustard. If it's too much, you can just play with it. Now we're going to move this out like that. And I'm going to go back into my layers and I'm going to move this rectangle on the bottom. Now we're going to do the same thing for this other shape. Command J, make a copy. Now click on your fill color under your appearance, change that color to yellow. We're going to move that also out. Go to your layers and drag that layer below the top layer. So you have something similar to this. So we are going to click on the middle shape, hold down your command, make a selection of the middle shape by clicking on the thumbnail. It will make a selection. Now we want to go to our shapes that have the color. We want to go ahead and add a layer mask. So when you add a layer mask, it basically hides all the other portions that are outside of that shape. We want to go ahead and repeat the same concept for the other one. But before we do that, you see that this shape still has an outline stroke. So we want to go back, click on your shape, go back to your appearance, click on the stroke. We want to make sure we click on the no fill stroke. Now, when I come out of this, you only see the shape that is within the bigger shape. Now we're going to do the same thing for the other one. Now the next thing we want to do is that we want to go ahead and make a selection of the mid shape. So hold down Command J, make a copy. Now we want to make this bigger. So I'm going to hold down my Shift and I'm going to release my Shift and I'm going to scale this bigger, and I'm going to hold the other end. Now that we have this, I want to go ahead and round the edges again. Now we want to get rid of the fill color and just leave the stroke. So go under your appearance. Now, if you don't see your appearance, you need to make sure you look for your property. If you don't see your property, all you have to do is go under Windows, look for properties so that you can make all the changes. So click on your fill and we are going to make that empty. Now we like our stroke, but we want it to be a little bit thicker, and we want to go ahead and change the line, the stroke option to a dash. So when you come out, this is what you see. We want to hide the image within the three shapes. So what we are going to do is we want to go ahead and look for all three rectangles. I'm going to go ahead and click on the second rectangle and I'm going to pull it down to the very bottom. So we're going to go ahead and click on the small shape and we are going to hold down Command, make a selection of that shape, go back to the colored shapes, click on the thumbnail of the one that is right on top, and then pick up your brush tool with your foreground as white, with your foreground as black. We want to go ahead and basically hide this portion. Command D, let's deselect. Now go back, click on your move tool, select the other shape. Now hold down options, make a selection of that. Then go look for the other shape. We want to make sure we have the thumbnail selected, and we are going to click on our brush and we are going to paint to hide. Command J to deselect. We have the three white shapes. Make a selection of all three by holding down Shift, select the bottom and then select the third one. Now we want to group it. So click on the group icon folder. It's going to group the three shapes for you. Now we want to go ahead and move our picture layer right above, and we are going to clip our picture to the shapes. So hold down your options. It will activate the down arrow. Click on that and basically it clips it to it for you. So now with this set, we want to go ahead and basically change up our background. So I'm going to click on my background layer, go to my adjustment, and I'm going to add a solid color. So we're going to choose something like this color. I'm going to go ahead to click OK. This color is basically competing with our background. So to make it easier for us to see, quick tip, right click and change your background by clicking on the custom. So we can choose a white, right click. If you want a particular color, all you have to do is go to select and choose whatever color you want. Hope this was helpful. So now we are going to go ahead and look for our shape, and we are going to move the shape. We are going to go ahead and set that shape below our groups like that, so that it's beneath our image. And I'm going to go ahead and just move it. I'm going to click on the middle rectangle and I'm going to make a copy. Command J, make a copy. Now we're going to take this one out of the group and we are going to go ahead to basically make it bigger like that. Double click to accept. Now we're going to make it round. So we have something like this. So we're going to click on our shape and we want to change the color. So I'm just going to randomly go under my gradient, just choose any color that I want. I want to go ahead and move the rectangle layer below the dotted layer. So we have something like this. Now notice that under my appearance, I still have my stroke outline. I want to take it out so that I don't have any white line around my shape. So with this all set, I'm going to go ahead and click on everything from the top, holding down Shift, and I'm going to go ahead and move this down a little. So we have something more like this, and I'm going to go ahead to scale it a little bit, double click to accept. I'm going to go ahead and drop in airplane, and we are going to go under our property, we're going to click on convert layer. We want to say yes, and we are going to remove the background. So we basically have this airplane that I brought in. Now we want to make sure that this airplane is not white, is not black, but is white. So we are going to go ahead and make sure we have that layer selected. Go under your adjustment, add a hue and saturation. Now you want to take the lightness all the way to 0, but oops, we lost everything. So we need to clip just the hue to the image, the airplane below. So hold down your option. You see the down arrow, clip it in between the two lines. Now we have our airplane in white. Now, if you want to get rid of the hue, we can select both the hue layer and our airplane. And we can right click and merge layers. Now I can zoom out. Now my black airplane is now all what? White. Now I can go ahead and rotate, hold down my shift, and if your transform is not activated, hold down Command T to activate it. Now we want to make a copy. Command J, make a copy, and I'm going to move that. We're going to rotate like that, and I'm going to scale it just a little bit more. I'm going to set it right in the middle of my line, my dashed line. We're going to zoom in. Now we want to go ahead and add a layer mask to the dashed line. Add a layer mask, pick up your rectangular marquee tool, make a little selection around your airplane, and make sure that you pick up your brush tool with your foreground as black height, and make sure you're on the layer mask thumbnail. Just paint in this area and basically Command D to deselect, and now you can see that that little portion is hidden. Now this is a non-destructive way of basically hiding something you don't need. If you want it back, you can always paint it back in. We want to make a copy, so hold down your, make a selection of your airplane, Command J, make a copy. We are going to click on that and move it to the bottom. We are going to repeat the same thing. So with this set, we want to go ahead and basically add the rest of the info, which is very minimal. So pick up your font tool, and I'm just going to go ahead and use a very simple Century Gothic with my foreground as white. I'm going to go ahead and type in let's, and I'm going to go ahead and move it, set it in the middle, go under my property. We are going to left align, and we want to go under our character. We want to decrease the spacing like that, and we want to move this and set that right there. Make it a little bit bigger. Move that down like so. We are going to double click, just highlight the travel, click on your foreground color, pick up the yellow in your design and just apply it. Now we want to go ahead and move our airplane, make it a little bit smaller to match the one that we have on the dash. Now go back to your shape, pick up the line tool, make just a straight line, hold down shift so you get it on a straight line, and go under your property. You can go ahead and increase the thickness of your shape, or you can type it in and enter. We are done. Now go ahead and move your airplane to fit right within, zoom out, and basically we are getting ready to travel. So with this set, I want to show you how you can create this little shape in Photoshop without having to get it online. So we are going to go back to our shape tool, pick up your rectangle, and we are just going to go ahead and draw a rectangle. Hold the corners to round it up just a little, not too much. And we want to go under our property, click on the fill, choose a white. Now go back to your shape tool. So you want to make sure you click to accept the shape. Go back to your shape tool Now this time we want to pick the rectangle and we are going to zoom in. Pick your rectangle. Now just draw your rectangle like that. Come under your appearance, fill that in. Now take your move tool or Control T to activate. Hold down Shift, rotate, and set that right there. And voila. If you zoom out, you have the shape. So if you want, you can basically merge both shapes so that it's one piece. So with this set, we want to go ahead and just type in the information. So I'm just going to fast forward so that we can just have that in. So once you type in your information, we want to go back to our shape. We're going to go ahead and choose a rectangle again, and we are just going to draw just a little short, a little small rectangle. Go under your fill, and we are going to choose the yellow. We want to make sure our stroke is empty, so check it off. Now you want to go ahead and click within your shape. We're going to zoom in. You can hold the point, make it rounded like that. Now we are going to go ahead and just make a copy, Command J, and I'm just going to pull that down, make this font smaller, and I'm going to type in book today. Now if your spacing is too big, go under your VA and make it smaller, and that's it. So with this set, we want to go ahead and add a little bit of information on the other side. So go ahead, you can make a copy of your existing text, Command J, and we are going to go ahead and pull it over to the other side. I'm going to highlight, make this yellow by clicking on my foreground to choose the yellow color. And I'm going to go ahead and basically move this, set this somewhere here, highlight and put in package. I'm going to go ahead and make a selection of this, Command J, and I'm going to set it right there, make this white, flip it, and I'm going to paste in a text. And I'm going to go ahead and scale it down just as a placeholder. And I'm going to repeat the same process. I'm going to make a copy. So once you have your information in, that's basically it. Now, if you want to enhance your image a little, you can throw in some shadows. So I'm going to click on my group. I'm going to double click on it, and it's going to bring up the layer style. I'm going to just go ahead and add a drop shadow. Now, when I add the drop shadow, it applies to all of the three shapes because I've grouped it, and I'm going to go ahead and click on my shape. If you want to play with the shadow, you can, but I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to go ahead to click OK. And basically you are done. Very, very simple, but very nice to do. I hope this was helpful and you learned a lot about using shapes. So please give this video a thumbs up, share this video. If you want to see more travel flyers, let me know. So guys, till then, please take good care of yourselves and I will see you back. Bye y'all.